sana kila mmoja, tafadhali karibisha wawili watatu, usitazame kipindi peke yako, hakikisha kwamba unamakinika kwa kuwa ambassador wa kipindi hiki ambaye unafikia wengine, unawakaribisha na unawaambia wasubscribe ili tukasoge pamoja katika hoja zetu na katika kuelewa inji yetu. Asante sana. Namuona Mr. Wangira is here. Kuna Mama Rehema. Inaonekana Mama Rehema hataki kamera iwe on, but all the same, karibu. Naomba sasa tumsikilize Mr. Wangira atuanzishie mjadala wa usiku wa leo. Karibu sana Mr. Wangira.
Habari ya leo Bernard?
Niko salama nashukuru. Vipi huko?
Tuko salama Bernard. You know, yesterday my internet was in danger Bernard. I hope that today nobody is targeting my internet.
Go ahead. This enemies of progress.
William Samoei Ruto. Are you getting me? Okay. William Samoei Ruto should embark on delivering on the promises that he gave to the people of Kenya. Like today, there was a headline in the Taifa Leo, Bernard. I don't know whether you saw that headline. Kwamba William Ruto awalisha wa Kenya ugali hewa. I don't know whether you saw that headline, Bernard. Ugali hewa, promising people, hot air, Bernard. So William Samoei Ruto, he gave us promises as Kenyans. He said that if he is going to become president of the Republic of Kenya, he's going to achieve A, B, C, D. Let him achieve A, B, C, D, He should not engage in what I'll call monkey business here, Bernard. Bernard, we are a multi-party democracy. Kenya is a multi-party democracy. And to come to where we are, Bernard, it was a struggle. You remember we had been what we call a de facto one-party state since 1966 when KPU was banned, and come 1982, Kenya became a de jure one-party state. And, to revert to what we call a multi-party democracy, Bernard, it was a struggle until 1992 when the Section 2A was repealed. So, we are a multi-party democracy. So this single party mentality that I see within Kenya Kwanza, is not what Kenyans fought for, and is not what Kenyans believe in, if you have your own party called UDA, you dwell on ensuring that UDA delivers on what it promises, You should not, be poking you should not be poking your nose in each and every other political party. Bernard, I understand that, 2 days ago, is it 2 days ago, when 1 day or 2 days ago, when Wakina Kanini Kega, went to Jubilee headquarters, to take over the Jubilee leadership. I understand that they were escorted by members of our security forces. I'm not very sure, but I've heard rumors that they were escorted by members of our security forces. What interest would our members of security forces have in a political party? Political parties are democratic organization and whose membership is voluntary, Bernard, and they have their own rules of engagement, Bernard. So today I want to salute the political party dispute tribunal, Bernard. The political party dispute tribunal is the lowest court that looks into matters political parties, and is under the Kenya judiciary. So today, it has stayed the takeover. It has stayed Wakina Kanini Kega's takeover, Bernard, and it has allowed now Jeremiah Kioni and his team to return to Jubilee headquarters, Bernard. So I hope that the spirit of the Kenyan constitution, which is the spirit of multipartyism, Bernard, will be safeguarded. We don't want to end up where we were. We must safeguard this spirit of multipartyism. Let the ruling party, they told us that they have the numbers. Let them, stick on the numbers they have and allow parties to work within the framework in which they have agreed to work on, Bernard. For you to even try to force now Jubilee party to move out of Azimio, it looks laughable. Especially when I heard Wakina Kaneni Kega saying that they were now going to initiate the process of removing Jubilee out of Azimio. I just laughed. I just laughed. They have agreed to be used as guns for hire. Yes, but let us see how far they will get. And again, Bernard, there seems to be a bad precedent that is being set by our parliamentary leadership, Bernard. You remember when this session of parliament began, there was this issue of which are the majority and which are the minority, Bernard. And I expected that Speaker Wetangula was going, I expected Speaker Wetangula, Bernard, to have his fidelity to the law and the standing orders of the National Assembly. But what did we see? We saw that his fidelity was somewhere else. And, that's why he went round and declared that, Azimio la Umoja was not a political party. When in the true essence, and even when you go to the political parties registrar, you'll find that Azimio la Umoja is a corporate political party. And, even went against, the advice of the registrar of political parties, who had advised Parliament at that particular time that Azimio la Umoja was the majority political party. And today, Bernard, in the Senate, yesterday, Azimio la Umoja leadership in the Senate decided to remove the Isiolo women rep, the Isiolo senator, with I think the minority whip, and they decided to replace him with Senator Ledama Lekina. It's up to the party leadership to decide who they want their leaders to be in parliament. It's not the business of the speaker to prefect, political parties on who their leadership is. The political parties, given their strength, the Senate decide on who their leadership is. And, if they decide that, we are changing our leadership, it is within their province to change that leadership. But today, what did we see? We saw the Speaker of the Senate, who is a former governor for Kilifi, Amazon King, trying, to dodge and to go around to go around that issue instead of implementing a very simple decision of Azimio la Umoja in the Senate, where they were supposed to have removed the Isiolo senator as a minority whip and replaced her with Ledama Olekina. Then you wonder, are we becoming, what type of a society are we? Are we a society that is being governed by the rule of law or by the will of a person? You see, have we reached a point? These are some of the questions that we are asking, because if that is the direction that we are taking, then, Bernard, we are on the wrong route. We are on the wrong route because Parliament is an independent institution, Bernard. And if this is the route that we are taking, don't be shocked one day, when there will be a vote in Parliament and, the winner of that vote will be declared the loser, and the loser of that vote will be declared the winner. Because if this is the tendency that we are seeing, then we are likely to end up there, Bernard. So, it's unfortunate at how things, are taking shape in this country. And I hope that, we will find a way forward to make them straight. Because if we don't make them straight, then we are going to get lost, Bernard. Let me just leave it at that and allow the next speaker to come in. Thank you.
Okay, asante sana Mr. Wangira for that good start, and we look forward to engaging further. The mischief, the twist, and the turns of our politics are such that some of them are very, very wanting in the sense that people are no longer following the law, but finding a way around the law. And the people who are most unlikely in terms of least expected in terms of perverting the law, like you cited Wetangula. Wetangula is a senior lawyer of repute in terms of how long he's been in practice. Then if he is so quick into bending the law and trying to twist things, then we are really causing problems in this country by letting people who don't believe in the law preside over the law, and eventually they may just land us into a world of the jungle, where the rule of the jungle carries the day, survival for the fittest. And to me, that's very disturbing. And it's too early in the day for Kenya Kwanza and team to be perverting the law. They need the law on their side. But if they pervert it this time round, and then we are really dealing with a very, very bad precedents being set by this illegitimate government. And so a very good reason for the Kenyans to rise up in arms and reject the twistedness and the perversion that is being propagated. We want to be sure that the law will defend us every time we return to it. But if the law is now serving the mighty against the least and the junior in the society, and then we are cooked as a society. So I support. Let's look at the law keenly and let's follow it continuously. And the registrar of political parties should refuse to be intimidated by the Kenya Kwanza machinations and just execute her responsibility. You don't have to try to play ball here. It's a matter of you come by the law, I deal with you according to the law, and let the consequences be. I followed the law, you did not follow the law. And not this matter of saying that the NEC was legitimately constituted, and on the other hand, they say only the district, only the dispute resolution committee can preside over this. So why were you giving your word on the same in the first place? So let's have some nerve to stand against perversion and twisting of the law in order for us to have a straightforward nation. I want to appreciate everybody as you join us. We are live now on Mutembei TV YouTube channel, Mutembei TV profile page on Facebook, as well as Mutembei official Facebook page. Make sure you're a follower of all those pages and you are a subscriber. We have a feed of the same program on Sound Candid Talk, so you can as well follow the program from Sound Candid Talk, and we encourage you to be a subscriber of the same. Thank you, everybody. Let's keep going. I salute Tony PK is here, and of course, Leo, my co-pilot. VP Daddy, Tony PK.
Poa sana Bernard. Leo nimepata kamwanya kidogo mapema na ninafurahi. Ni vizuri kuzungumzia Wakenya kabla wajaenda kulala, ndio walale na mambo, na wakiamka asubuhi watukute tukiwaamsha kuwapatia kifungua kinywa kwamba kile walikula jana asubuhi usiku ni hicho. Hicho kikombe unakunywa, waambie ndicho cha jana, za leo na kesho. Let me also say jambo to brother Wangira. Hatujaonana siku nyingi because tuna wakati wetu unapitana kidogo, and also nice to see Leo. Bernard, I really wanted you to play a clip I've sent you, which would have been very good for me to enter into.
The one for Professor?
No. This one for for the preacher, the man of God. Maybe that one of the man of God, because it's really dwelling on the strategy, which is the best topic we have today. Is disapproving, although we really exhausted it jana, but it would be good because it's part of what Azimio thinks is. Not Azimio. These guys, our watu wa maombi, wanafikiria hiyo ndio one of the best strategy. But as you prepare it, if you allow me, I would generally, kind of have my say into what is happening. And in terms of Ruto's strategies into his government, for me, I'm happy, and I'm so happy that these mediocre strategies is what is engaging, and it's actually ndio ile inaitwa nini, inachangia. We are happy because it's adding to our strategies, and our strategy ni moja, to remove him from office. So the more incompetence he exposes himself or displays himself, the more annoying he becomes, the more stupid he becomes, the more mistakes he makes, the better for us. Because in Azimio also, we still have doubting Thomases, people who do not think that this journey has a cause, that maybe people are just, Kenyans like saying, oh, that one is spreading hate. And for me, I don't know anything called hate. Why do you have to hate another human being? What I fight for and what I talk and what I criticize is when you are leading people in the wrong direction, pretending you know, yet you don't know. So it's not a matter of hate. Nita hate Bernard nimpeleke wapi. I don't feed you, you don't feed me. So Wakenya waache kufikiria it's hate. Ruto is not hated. He simply cannot lead us. That's what we are saying. He's a Kenyan. Nobody said he's a foreigner. Okay, we know he's a guy from Sugoi or wherever it is. So we have no problem with that. But we have a problem with somebody coming to impose on us that he's a leader, yet he was rejected by the majority, and then he uses force. Actually, what Ruto did is simple. It's a coup, a bloodless coup. It is simple as that, where you overturn the will of the people. Whether you claim to be smart or wherever you are, every thief says he's smart, because huwa anangojea saa zile umelala ndiye anakuja, kama saa zile wewe ni mgonjwa kwako boma ndiye anakuja kukuvamia. That is not smartness, all right? So what we are fighting for is that we don't want this to happen, because we can easily see the result. We know the result. Ikiwa ulifanya hesabu jana na ukaanguka, mwalimu wa mathematics akakuwekea x na akakwambia hukufuata formula vizuri, you can never end up getting the answer. Why do you want to repeat the same thing every time? So like Kenyans, okay, I know there are those who are very young, and it's not a mistake, of course, because we can't all be mature. Kila mtu ana uzee wake na ana uyangu wake, uyuthi wake. So we just need to learn from each other. If I tell you I saw a movie called XYZ na kuelezea vile ilikuwa nina na wewe hujaiona, you are supposed to believe, because believing, you don't believe by seeing, because you will not see everything. we believe in Jesus. Did we see Jesus? None of us, actually. We are just being told about Jesus by people we think are credible. Wale tunaita mitume, wale waliandika hizo haraka nani. That is it. If we start ignoring them, kuambia mpaka mimi nione huyu alikuwa anaitwa Yohana Mbatizaji, I cannot, because I could not have been there. So the same thing with Kenyans. When people who have gone through, wamenyolewa na hiyo wembe, wakakatakatwa, wakaumizwa, wakavunjavunjwa na that kind of formula ambaye kwa sasa inaendelea, because Nyayo was never elected in. I'm beginning with Nyayo. Although even Kenyatta was never elected, Kenyatta number one. He just by design that he was the first president or prime minister when we were getting independent. And we accepted, because, we were told by Jaramogi Oginga Odinga that huyu ndio tunataka atuongoze. And Kenyans followed, because they trusted and believed in mzee Jaramogi Oginga Odinga when he said hatutachukua uhuru ama uongozi kabla ndugu yetu aje. It is not that Jaramogi Oginga was a coward or a fool or an idiot. No, he was a patriot who was seeing that there would be no enjoyment of these fruits when your other brothers are still in jail or wherever incarcerated. So it was wisdom that let me do what? Let me boycott this and say, we don't need it. We don't need this independence if it will be piecemeal. And it was wisdom. That is what now brought Kenyatta into the position. And there we accepted as Kenyans. And then because it was our first time, we had a lot of struggle because there was a difference in ideologies. Okay, the oldest ideology was like, we develop this, we build a country based on the Majimbo system. Okay, right from day one. And what was Majimbo system? It was to devolve development so that you can have very quick sprouting of peace development from every other corner of the country, which would now surmount into what you would be calling a nation today. But we missed that boat. We missed it because of, again, selfishness and personal view of issues instead of looking at the bigger picture of it. You know, people thought that if Coast is a Jimbo by itself, itakuwa mimi sina power. But that was the shortfall of maybe the forefather. He thought that when you have those Majimbos, he would not be powerful. And that Kasumba is still on, lingering on with that school of thought. That's why you saw even Moi being against that. Okay, until Kibaki saw it, because alikuwa ni msomi, alikuwa ameona dunia vile inaendelea, aliona the catalyst that there is in terms of development. So he adopted that strategy by us approving the 2010 constitution. Now look at those who opposed the 2010 constitution. They still wana hiyo kasumba. And that now is bringing me into this so-called strategy of kujaribu kudismantle, kumeza other parties, so that unafikiria you are powerful because you are there. When ndio unakohoa watu wanainama, ama when ndio unakojoa watu wanapanda, which is a very stupid thing to go by in 60 years down the line. So we have experimented this and we know where we have failed. Hii hesabu tulijua mahali tumekosea ile formula. Ile step tulikosea tumeijua, and that is how you become a mathematician. Hesabu ukirudia mara mbili, ya tatu you are not supposed to fail. If you fail, you are an idiot. And I don't want Kenyans to be idiots. I think we are very sharp. We have the formula of building this nation. And that's why, Bernard, when you play that clip, it will explain to Kenyans in very simple terms. Mtu wa Mungu anakuelezea tu mahali unakosea formula, unaanguka hesabu, then you fail your exam. Like us, when we were tulifanya ile ilikuwa inaitwa CPE. For us, if you failed that, ukianguka hesabu ilikuwa ukuli hata nyumbani, you are sad. Yani, you feel so bad. And I think most of us must have been really depressed. Ile tu wati hesabu umepata 90%. Your father asks you, why didn't you get 100%? At kama my dad, you would tell him, Daddy, you know I was top. I had 95. Anakwambia, you are not top. Mwalimu alikuwa anataka upate ngapi? Ati 100. Ni nini ilifanya usipate 100? Ati Daddy, unajua. Anasema, don't give me stories. Were you in that class? Anamwambia, yes, Daddy, but I was top. Ananiambia, I'm telling you, don't tell me about being top. Tell me about you getting 100% of that hesabu. Kwa sababu mwalimu akisema ni 100, anajua mtu anaweza pata hizo hesabu zote. So, we were pushed that way, beyond trying to achieve excellence. And that is where we are supposed to be as a country. Not kuambiwa hata 50 ni sawa, hata 40% ni mzuri, hata sijui ngapi ni. That is what contributed to failure and non-performance of even economy, politically and everything. Tunaambiwa sasa ni sawa hata mtu akiiba elections. Ati move on to where? Unaambiwa move, mtu ameiba, wewe umeamka asubuhi saa 9 ukapiga kura. Ukapigwa mchenga ndio, ukadoubt, ukaanguka, lakini bahati mzuri Mungu naye halali, anakuja ana reveal anakuambia, Bernard, unajua ile kura ulipiga bana ndio ilishinda. It's like you winning a jackpot for those who go gambling, and then all of a sudden unaambiwa haukushinda na ulikuwa umetumia hela yako. Then a few weeks later God reveals to you that the ticket ya jackpot ilikuwa yako. Na unaambiwa sasa, my friend, you have the right to claim it. Do you still have the ticket? Unasema niko nayo. Can we compare the number? Oh yeah, unaambia sasa bro, go claim for your win. That is where we are at Kenyans. And that's why I'm not entertaining any discussions at kusaidia Ruto, sijui kufanya nini. Ruto has to be dismantled first. We have to dismantle him because we have agreed he is not the right guy who is sitting on that seat. So we should not be ati tuna huruma, tunaongea theory mingi. Hizo theory kwa mfano, when we talk of multipartyism, multipartyism is supposed to be based on a certain framework which has a very solid foundation, and it cannot have any other foundation other than electoral justice. Now, electoral justice goes into all the parties. If my party is called Stone PK Party, ya Bernard inaitwa Bernard Party, ya Msimamo inaitwa Msimamo Party, ya Roda inaitwa Roda Party, and then wananchi have 4 choices to make. They go to wherever, wanaangalia ni gani inaendana na hao, what ni ideologies gani zinaendana. Then akienda kwa Bernard, the day atasikia hapana, Bernard amenichosha, hizi ideologies zake ya implement, wacha niende kwa Roda. You don't start circumventing that. Ati unaingilia kwa Bernard kurig, huyu jamaa unaenda kotini ndio asitoke sijui. Please let people move at will. Electoral justice should be mpaka pale kwa kijiji, tukichagua wazee wa kijiji. That is where we practice democracy, if at all we want to have democracy. For me, if we don't correct it in Kenya, I'll never want anybody to tell me about huyu mnyama anaitwa democracy. Democracy should be from my village, that the chairman of board of whatever kwa ile primary school, tukisema tunaenda kwa ballot, akichaguliwa msimamo, ndiye ameshinda na kura 2, ndiye anaambiwa wewe ndio utakuwa chairman kwa huo muda. Na yeye asipo perform, again the process is done. Then we go up to chairmanship, to MCA. That electoral justice ikinawiri tu mpaka kwa presidential, you will never hear a Kenyan quarreling any other. Hautasikia mtu akisema huyu ni Mkale, huyu ni Mkikuyu, huyu ni Mluya, huyu ni Mchaga, huyu ni. That actually is the umbrella. It's what joins people. The second, of course, is when you lead them now to faith and all that, so that we don't forget about God. But if you deny us justice, umeona watu hata wameanza kudoubt God, Bernard, which is very sad. Watu wanaanza kuuliza, kwani Kenya tuna miungu wangapi bana? You know, it's very bad when you have the human beings beginning to question, are we really on the right course? That is the question today. Now, what are we telling our youth? And remember, our youth walikuwa hawaendi church. Wanasemanga tunawabo. Sasa ndio tunawabo zaidi. And if they are not ready to go for spiritual nourishment, how shall we really have them as our future leaders? So for me, Bernard, what I'm saying is, the frameworks we are talking about will not work at all. Multi-parties framework, sijui tuende nini, all those formulas will not work until the foundation of electoral justice is korogwad vizuri. Na ndio nasema Kenya sasa miaka 60 imekwisha. Sasa we should be ready to dismantle. Kabisa, tuna dismantle to start afresh. There is nothing wrong with that. You better dismantle and start in the right direction. I have listened to some panelists, some presenters as I finish so that others can come in. You know, I listen widely to people. People saying that Ruto and Raila should go wakaongee na Ruto. Sincerely speaking, what are we telling Kenyans? Bernard, I want other panelists to tell me, ukweli wa mambo nikisha kushika umeniibia. You've stolen my wife, for example. And then I'm being told to come and negotiate with you. Wallahi billahi. Inaendanga wapi? Ni kanisa gani inaletaga hiyo? Ama ni msikiti gani inaletanga hiyo? Mimi hiyo Bernard utaniambia kule iko. Hiyo sijui iko wapi. Hata kama ni ile tunaambiwanga kusamehea. Ati mtu amekuibia. Kwani kusamehewa ni ya kurudishia alafu you decide ama utamsamehe ama hapana? Formula number 1 is return my thing, man. Bring back my wife, bring back my goat, bring back whatever you have stolen. Ilete kwangu. Alafu sasa Stone PK unaulizwa sasa, unajua kama wewe ni mdini, dini pia tunasema unaweza kusamea mtu, Mungu alisema hivi, lakini huwezi kuniambia nianze kukusamea na bado unapiga kifua na ninaiona kwako. This is annoying Kenyans, Bernard. And last night or yesterday I said, let's not annoy Kenyans. If we annoy these Kenyans beyond, tutashindwa kuwafunga breki. Breki zitaisha. Breki zitaisha because some of these prominent people talking about Kenyans ati baba aende akazungumze na Ruto. Anaenda kuzungumza nini? Mazungumzo ya baba imeisha. But Raila's discussions with the people about what? This will be very annoying. And the day Baba goes to discuss with Ruto, we will start another revolution against Baba from everywhere we are. And Baba has been told, if other than negotiating with Ruto, afadhali tu apumzike kwa nyumba. But we don't want him. We don't know what he would be going for to discuss with somebody. He has told us and he has given us reasons and he has given us evidence that this guy stole our votes. What we want is we want our vote back. Hakuna negotiation at the election. Hapana, hakuna election. Hakuna election na hakuna 2027. Kama kila kitu ni kuisha, iishie hapa. Iishie sasa hapa kabisa. Thank you. I'll come again.
Okay, asante sana Stone PK. That's very clear and very straightforward. Everyone must make sense of the same. Ukiniibia, Biblia inasema mwizi akiiba ili azuie njaa anaweza kueleweka. They can understand, as in when he's got stealing to eat. No, when he steal in order to eat. But the Bible also says when he's caught, akipatikana alipe mara saba. Okay, that is Proverbs. I'll give you the exact quote. When you can eat, you can steal to eat and say it, and people may understand. But if you get caught, you will pay 7 times of everything you stole. So there is no negotiation between the thief and the owner of the property. It is not negotiated. The thief has no negotiating power, has no capacity to claim anything because he doesn't own anything. He had stolen it. So he comes to the negotiation table as what? As I am a thief, and you need to understand me that I am a thief and stealing is my nature. So you should let me steal because that is what thieves do. Is that the kind of negotiation you're talking about, or what is it? So all those people saying that Raila should talk to Ruto, talk what? There's nothing to talk. What is there is mwizi akipatikana, Biblia inasema alipe mara saba. Okay? So Zakayo alipokundua kwamba amekuwa akiibia watu, okay? Mwenyewe tu hata kabla Yesu aseme, akainua mkono asema, hey, leo wokovu imeingia kwa hii nyumba. Kama nimechukua chochote kutoka kwa mtu, narudisha mara 4. Okay? Huyo ndio Zakayo. So we cannot be preaching the Bible this way and practicing it the other way. All the same, I'm going to play that video, although I suspect it in terms of, but it has been in circulation for long. I've seen it for long. So sijui kama itakuwa shida, but I will play it for us to get a balance because it's important. Hii maneno ya Kenya Kwanza kutupeleka kuombea mvua wakati wanapaswa kupeana suluhisho, hiyo lazima waeleweke. Nashukuru kila mmoja, tafadhali ukitupata tu tafadhali karibisha 2 watatu. Be our extension in doing what we are required to do in terms of letting the wide range of the Kenyan community to interact with the rest of the world of the Kenyan community in discussing their way forward. Paul says Uhuru Raila can fight for Jubilee if doing so is a matter of life and death. But Azimio principles can keep the party, but the MPs have gone. Who cares? Who cares? What you people don't realize is this revolution is going to have casualties. And the main casualties are going to be those you're calling members of parliament. Because I don't see Baba presiding over this country with that rogue government. There will be a snap election. Let me not begin to prophesy. The spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. Wachia tu ni wachia. Lakini kwenda na wabunge is waste of time. Let's listen to this preacher keenly and then follow through. Just a short while. Huh?
Government bishop sold the copper mines in northern Zambia to an outside consortium for $25 million. The copper mines for $25 million because they couldn't manage to keep them. The company that came in and took over the Zambian copper mines in 3 months made a profit of $75 million. They did not pay the Zambian government upfront in cash for the mines. They were going to pay them over a period of time. Here we have this company that has an understanding of how things work, raised the money at the government's expense, took money that the company the government should have been making, and gave it back to the government and said, we paid our debt in full, and give them now 0.006% of the proceeds of copper mining. When right outside the door there's people in poverty, people in not eating, people ignorant, people dying, high levels of AIDS. And what's the deal? Churches are full, people are praising God, Africans pray all night. Prayer is not in the success equation. Prayer is in the revelation equation. Decision making is in the success equation. You have to make a decision and be sound. We have to be disciplined and make sure we go and get what God has called us to get. You can be full of the Holy Ghost, but you can still be ignorant. But as for me and my house, I will get understanding. I will get understanding. I will get understanding. It's time now for us to rise up and be counted. This year, the country of Ghana turns 50. Ghana was born the same year we were born, in 1957. Ghana and South Korea had their independence dates on the same day, the same year. But look where South Korea is. South Korea is by nature not a Christian nation. South Korea by nature are Buddhists. China, which is the next large world economy, they have said that in the next 10 years, 20% of the Chinese people will be multimillionaires. That means almost 450 million Chinese will be millionaires. They are not Christians, they are Buddhists. The Japanese are Shintoists. Those in Indonesia and Malaysia are Muslims. It's not about praising God and hallelujah and a great thank you, Jesus. It's about possessing an understanding as to how things work.
Haya, ukweli wa mambo huo, lazima tupone. Inji haiongozwi kwa kuongoza maombi. Inji inaongozwa kwa kutoa formulation of policies that work. I was having, just before I bring in Leo, the second person here, before I bring in Leo, I was having a conversation with one of my friends, and I said, to be the president of this country right now is the easiest thing if you don't want to play games. It is the easiest thing because you have 47 presidents that are already assisting you. So you don't even need deputy president. You already have 47. All you need to do is delegate responsibilities. Tell the governors, ugao wa hela yenu nitawapa, lakini sitaki kusikia njaa Baringo, sitaki kusikia njaa Kakamega, sitaki kusikia njaa Kisumu. Hela nitawapa, lakini nikisikia njaa nitakuja huko mwenyewe. so that instead of you dealing with the entirety of Kenya, you have 47 deputies. Let them work on those issues. That's why agriculture is part of the devolved services. Lakini hiyo kwa sababu unataka kukula kwa fertilizer, unataka kula kwa tractor, unataka kukula kwa mbegu, unataka kukula kwa nguo ya overall, unataka kukula kwa kukata makucha, you can't let the counties do the right thing. And that's where we are. You want everything decided here because you must get your cut. The evil that befell this country is when leadership went to dealers instead of leaders. Let us wake up and understand that time is running out. We must correct our wrong before it's late. Leo, karibu.
All right. Good evening, Bernard. Good evening, Stone PK. Leo umekuja mapema. Sio kawaida sisi kukuona wakati kama huu. Roda, I can see Lala, NO, Rose, Rachel na ndugu msimamo na kila mmoja ambaye ako pale comment section, iwe Facebook ama YouTube. So